We meet our hero at the local cafe in Lumiose City. He and his Pokemon have been enjoying the fine cuisines of Kalos, especially Eevee, who explode in joy over the greatest condiment in his Pokechow, ketchup, making Froakie give Nidoran a questioning look, but the poison rabbit shrugs about it. Ash paid for his meal and reminds his team they're going to explore the city before they head to the Tower of Mastery. They let out a cry of agreement as Ash retrieved them, minus Eevee, who climbs up to his shoulder. The two explore around, having an amazing view on the seaside city, seeing the day-to-day lives and etc. All of a sudden, his Pokedex notify him his opponent has been found in his area. He's surprised, but excited. It's been a while since his last coronation battle. Ash and Eevee search around town for their opponent. After a while, they were halted by a blue K9-like Pokemon, which his now updated dex calls it Lucario. Ash is surprised by this, and then he heard someone call him. He saw a girl in a skater attire who appears in front of him. She tells Ash he's their 70th opponent and coronation battle. The Palette native is bewildered at first, but chalks it up to a victory streak. The girl introduced herself to be Korrina, and along with her partner Lucario. After acquainting themselves, they moved to a different location. A Rotom drone flew down, announced the official battle and its rules, which is one-on-one. Both Ash and Korrina nodded, sending in Eevee and Lucario. Ash opens up with Eevee using Quick Attack. As soon as the Evomon reached Lucario, he evades it. Eevee fires Mud Slap, however the K9 counter it and uses Swords Dance. Capitalizing on the boost, Ash tells Eevee to use Copycat. Both Mons ready themselves as Lucario charges with Bone Rush, and Eevee shoots out Swift. Even though the move never missed and been boosted, the Auramon uses the bone-like staff to negate some of the stars and hit Eevee, knocking him back. During the battle, Lucario starts to barrage Eevee with his attacks on his own, while Korrina cheers on and using Eevee's lack of close quarters moves. Ash then got a plan. Eevee then rushed in with Quick Attack, creating some after-image surrounding Lucario. Each of the Eevee strikes around the Jackal. The skater tells Lucario to finish it with Power-Up Punch. Likewise with Ash, tells Eevee to use Copycat. Both Mons clash with their fist and tail, resulting in a stalemate. Although Lucario's other hand is open, landing the boost punch at the underside, causing Eevee to fly back with swirls in his eyes. The Rotom drone declares Korrina the winner, and the rankings have been updated. Ash then talks to his starter, who is saddened for his second loss. But Ash reassures him he knew sooner or later they would lose, and it's okay. They could get stronger next time, which made his starter somewhat perked up. He looks to his ranking and it dropped to 10,762. Korrina offers Ash a citrus berry for his Eevee, which the Cantonian thank her. She then reveals to Ash she's the Sholor gym leader and asks if he's going to challenge her. Ash shakes his head and tells her his reason being here. Korrina realizes this is the guy who's going to meet her grandfather. She reveals to Ash her grandfather is the Mega Evolution Guru and she'll be guiding him there. So they both go to the giant tower, eagerly to learn about Mega Evolution. On the other side of Kalos, there's another battle underway. In a room filled with plants and trees lies a battlefield. In it is Callum, currently facing the gym leader of Santolun City, Viola. Both are down to their last mon. Chespin begins to roll towards the Kalos butterfly, however stops him with Psychic, holding him in place. Viola tells her mon it's time for the picture finish. The butterfly mon charges up solar beam. While that's happening, Callum, using this, orders a pin missile. The spiny nut's head fires green needles at Vivillon. Thanks to this, they have another opening. Chespin unravels his vines, then slaps the bug type out. Due to the accumulated damage from Electrike and this battle, it finally faints. Both recall their mons, praising them each. Viola bestows Callum his badge, the bug badge. He thanks her for the battle. He leaves and was congratulated by Tierno and Trevor. They were glad Callum is starting to somewhat lighten up now in battles. The loner tells them they need to rest for a while before they move on. The Vanderbilt trio arrives at the center, checking in their mons. While waiting, Trevor reminds the two they had to wait for Shauna since she wants all of them to meet up. Callum nodded. As Nurse Joy notified Callum about a call from someone. Curious, he goes to the monitor and calls the person. The screen lit up, revealing Grace Gabina. The loner greets his aunt, to which was surprised to see him not as depressed. She asks her nephew for help. Something happened back home and it requires his assistance. Callum tells her he'll be on his way. After he tells them the situation, they agree to stay in case Shauna arrives, and Callum runs back to his hometown. Back with Ash, he and Korrina arrive at the Tower of Mastery. There, they meet Gherkin, the Mega Evolution Guru, who is glad to see Ash. Sycamore told him he would be coming. He then asks Korrina on how's her trial. The skater informed her grandfather the progress, which is doing well. Ash query about it, to which the Guru explains it's a pathway to gain Mega Evolution and become a successor. It made the boy understand. Gherkin then let them inside, making Ash in awe by the Lucario statue. It looks different from a normal one. The Guru begins to tell his story while Korrina and Lucario sigh. The origin of Mega Evolution started here in this island, founded by his ancestor. Him and Lucario traveled to it. They both discovered two particular stones. One is rainbow color and the other is same color as Lucario. When they both grabbed the stones, it activated the first Mega Evolution. Ash is astounded by the story. He asks Gherkin multiple questions about Mega Evolution, its functions, requirement, and etc. The Guru answers them, needing a keystone and megastone for the right mon, and the most important part, a strong bond. He asks the Cantonian if Sycamore told him about infinity energy, to which he confirms it. He explains infinity energy is what the stones are emitting, which has two sides. If a trainer and a Pokemon has a strong bond, the transformation has no issue. However, if they don't have a strong bond, it will lead the Pokemon to be a destructive force. Satisfied on the answers, he thanks Gherkin for the lessons on Mega Evolution. He was also offered by Korrina to stay here since it's late by now, which he accepts and will start his training tomorrow. Concurrently, Callum has arrived at Route 1, spotting his aunt at the gate. He asks her on what happened. Grace explained after doing Rhyhorn practice, they returned home. However, it was a mess. Some of the wires were chewed and don't know who did it. Both aunt and nephew arrive at Vaniville and witness one of the house windows blow up with a puff of smoke along with a scream. They both rush in, knowing who that scream is. They got up and see Serena with a frown look, along with a fainted fledgling. They look on to see the perpetrator. It's a Pikachu, but its tail is a heart shape. She noticed them and asked her cousin for help. Calem calls out Chespin and Electrike to handle the Pikachu. While they keep the mouse busy, he readies his Pokeball. However, the electric mouse noticed this and fires Thundershock at his hand, dropping the ball. Serena grabbed it when it was near her. The loner tells his cousin to capture it. Understanding what to do, throws the ball towards Pikachu, who got hit thanks to Electrike staggering it. The ball shakes for a while, then it clicks. Everyone sigh in relief, the commotion is over. Following that, the three clean up then talk what are they going to do with Pikachu. Callum suggests letting it out and asks what it wants. With hesitation, Serena released Pikachu. The mouse was confused, then saw them and got ready. However, her stomach grumbled, making her embarrassed. Serena asked the mouse if she was hungry. Pikachu nodded with a sigh. Serena grabbed her homemade Pokepops and gave it to her. Pikachu wonders why this human gave her this, as if she knows what the electric type is thinking. She explains it would be rude if she didn't give her food after being captured. Pikachu accepts it and enjoys the pops. Callum points out Pikachu could be her first Pokemon. Serena then looked to her mom, who's contemplating, then give her the go-ahead. Serena asks Pikachu if she wants to stay with her. The mouse was hesitant, but climbs up to her head. She smiles having her first Pokemon. Then she turned to Callum, asking him about himself. Since the last time she saw him, he was still this spirit. Callum fills in his cousin the events of the Lumiose tournament. He faced a trainer who showed him the enjoyment of battling, and tells her his name is Ash. Her eyes widen upon hearing that name. She went to her room trying to find something. By the time her cousin and mom comes up, she found it, the handkerchief. She explains to him she met Ash back when they were young at Professor Oak's summer camp. Reminded by Ash's words, she asks Callum if she can go see Professor Sycamore since she wants to go on a journey. It surprised Callum and looked to his aunt. Grace thinks about it and allows her as long as she practiced Rhyhorn racing on the road. Serena was agitated a bit, but she agreed. In reality, her reason is to find what she wanted to be and see Ash again. Callum informed his cousin they will be leaving tomorrow to meet up with the guys, then go to Lumiose. They all rest up for tomorrow. The next day in the beach, we see our hero training his team, improving themselves. Korrina would help Ash with his training. She even points out what works on each of his team. Ash uses Dexter to help Eevee. He figures it out while observing his mons. He tells his starter the new move to learn, Iron Tail. From here, he and the rest help Eevee learn Iron Tail. The Evomon struggles turning its tail to metal and trying it out, which leads to mishaps due to Eevee's little confidence in himself. Ash comforts his starter, he knows he can master it eventually. Froakie then sends something near and notifies his trainer. Once Ash saw it, he calls them out. A group of children reveal themselves asking for help. There are Pokemon who are getting bullied by some meanie. Both agree to help and follow them in the other side of the beach. There, they see a bunch of water type being terrorized by a Barbaracle. Korrina tells Ash maybe he can handle it in a way to help Eevee. She'll be on standby if it went south. The Barbaracle spots Ash approaching and snarls at him to back off. But Ash stays resolute, declares they're here to stop him. While the wild mons spread out in fear, Ash encourages Eevee and not worry Froakie and Nidoran will watch his back if his allies step in. Having faith on his trainer, he readied himself against the multi-limb Mon. Barbarichel's arms turn green, going for a consecutive Fury Cutter. As Eevee dodges, the attack gets stronger. He backs up, shoots out Sweep, directly hitting it, though doesn't do much. He tries his other moves, even trying to copy it. They don't budge. The Rock Limbs uses Shell Smash to gain strength but loses defense. Hits Eevee more with Razor Shell. Ash's starters beginning to lose confidence, but Ash and the rest cheer on Eevee to keep going. With his best friends backing him up, his willpower rose and began to dash in, dodging a swipe, then his tail turned metallic and slammed into Barbaricle. Now mad, it loses focus on Eevee, who rapidly used Quick Attack, then Iron Tail, eventually defeating the bully. Its allies were about to interfere, however, Froakie and Nidoran scared them off. Ash congratulates his partner and he's proud of him, until they hear the Barbaricle sneer at them and goes back to the ocean. The children and Pokemon thank Ash and his team for the help. Later that day, Ash is outside the tower, thanking Gherkin again for the lessons. The guru is happy to give wisdom to the youth, though it's too early for him to wield Mega Evolution. He can come back next time when he's far into his journey. Korrina wishes Ash luck, but hopes to fight him at his best next time. Ash agrees, and it will be him who wins next time. He bid farewell to the two and heads back to Lumiose. In a local center, he calls up his Gramps. To his shock, he sees him giving medicine to a Gloom. Oak greets his grandson and explains there was a little accident with Leaf and explain her problem. Ash was alarmed to hear Leaf's story, feeling bad for the girl. But Oak lifts his mood up and asks his progress. He explained on what happened to his Kalos adventure, even showing Froakie to him. The professor is excited to see a Kalos starter in front of him. Ash tells his grandfather he'll be going back to Kanto soon. Before Oak could reply, the Gloom behind him sneezes, making the old man paralyzed from stun spore, causing the tree to bid sweat drop. He tells his grandson he'll see him soon, as the call ends. The Cantonian made it back and went to Sycamore's lab. He tells the professor he's heading back to Kanto, along with thanking him for the visit and to call his Gramps if he needs help. Sycamore appreciates it and wave Ash off for a safe flight. Back in Santaloon, Callum and Serena meet up the two with Shauna. The energetic girl is surprised about Callum's change and made a joke about him never leaving his shell, but she is happy to know he come around. Also asking Yvoine how she's been, Serena replied with a fine, and they all walk to Lumiose, using a shortcut Tierno used to get there. During this, Serena gets to know her Pikachu more and tells them wanting to find her own dream on this journey. They arrive at Lumiose and go straight to the lab. Unknown to them, a certain Cantonian is passing by in the opposite direction. Callum and Serena went inside while the rest waited. Sycamore greets the two cousins. Serena explained to Sycamore she's ready to go on a journey. The professor's happy to hear this, since she was undecided on that option. His two assistants gives her items and a Pokedex, which surprised her, but Sycamore explains he's sure it can help her along the way. Just then, one of the starters shows up, and Sycamore asks Serena if she can take Fennekin with her, since she's been cooped up here for a while now. She accepts and welcomes the fox to her team. Calem asks on behalf of his cousin on Ash's whereabouts, but to Serena's disappointment, learns he's heading back to Kanto. Calem and Serena went out, but he did tell his cousin he's not sure if she could handle herself yet, So he'll be teaching her the aspects of being a trainer, along with helping her find her goal and one day see Ash again. She thanks her cousin for that, and the group, with Serena, went off to their adventure in Kalos. After a long flight, our hero returned to his hometown and got inside the lab. He's happy to see his Gramps again, but questions him on where Leaf is. To answer that, a dark voice tells him to turn around. He slowly turns to see a ghost scaring him, causing the boy to scream. Leaf then detached her Mon as both laugh at Ash. The pallet native was annoyed by this, but Oak quickly calmed them down. Ash asked Leaf on how she's been while he was gone, and Leaf told him her little adventure. He was surprised to hear that, but then they hear a car honk outside, making the two confused, but Oak smiled knowing who that is. They all exit and see a man that looks like an older Gary next to a red convertible. Leaf is in shock, while Ash's smile widens to see him. The man smirks and asks how they been. It's been so long. Ash calls out the man's name, Uncle Blue! And that is where we'll be leaving things for right now. What do you guys think about this part? Do you guys like the characters who showed up in this one? Do you like their new Pokemon that I gave them? And by the way, you guys need to watch the spin-off because there might be some confusion on what happened in the story. So don't worry, it's already there in the channel. You can go look it up there, or you could see it in the description or in the comments where I would post the link to it. That is all I could say for right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Bye everyone!